Hello and welcome to the Ilene Silverman Show. I'm your host Ilene, and on this week's program, our guests from LifeSouth Community Blood Centers reflect on their 50-year history, educate us about the importance of blood and the need for blood donations, and how we as a community can make a difference. Happy 50th anniversary to LifeSouth. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for our program. I'm delighted to introduce my guests from LifeSouth Community Blood Centers, Laura Bialik, Community Development Coordinator, and Kevin Jenkins, Regional Manager. And it's great to have Kevin and Laura, to have both of you here to talk about LifeSouth and to congratulate you on the 50th anniversary of this outstanding part of our community.
And thank you so much for inviting us. We are thrilled to be here and to be able to talk about LifeSouth. And yes, it is our 50-year anniversary,
know,
so
that
is quite a milestone, yes.
It is. And just how long have you been with LifeSouth, Kevin?
I've been with LifeSouth for 21 years now.
Okay, wow, okay. Another good milestone. And you, Laura?
18,
okay,
so
we've got a lot of good history.
Yes.
We have good history here. So speaking of history, rotate us back just a little bit to how this all got started. And
50 years ago, there was
Yeah.
no local blood center. If people wanted to donate blood, they'd have to go to the hospitals to do it. And UF Health and Shands really didn't want to be in the blood banking industry.
right, they had enough to do.
They had enough to do, so they went around and asked every civic organization in Gainesville if one would like to start a local blood center, and everyone said no, except the local Civitan Club. And 5 members of the Civitan Club each put up $10,000, which in 1974 was a lot of money.
Indeed.
And that's how LifeSouth began.
We bless them
We
because it
do.
is necessary. And you have grown through all these years. There is a great sense of your history on your website, you know, breaking it down decade by decade. But I had no idea how far-reaching LifeSouth was in terms of what you oversee. Georgia, Alabama, Jacksonville,
That is correct.
Tampa.
So
I mean,
at
you're
first
all
it was
over.
just LifeSouth. It was just Civitan here in Gainesville, and then the next center to open up was in Lake City, and then we moved into Georgia and Alabama, and we're actually in Tennessee also.
Oh my gosh,
That's
you're
new.
really far afield.
So yes. So from our humble beginnings, we have grown tremendously.
You're no longer just the Gators.
We're not. Gators can be found everywhere,
Well, that's
even
true,
in
Gator
Tennessee.
Nation,
That's
and
right.
You are right.
Right.
And, okay, well, help us understand, what does a blood center do, actually, just to get started really elementary? Because we know if we don't have you, we're in bad shape.
Absolutely.
And if we need that blood and you're not supplying it,
So
it's critical.
Kevin would be the
Take it away, Kevin.
expertise here.
Day to day, we need blood. We're in high demand right now. We're not getting as many donations as we usually do this time of year.
Right.
Hospitals are still using every day. Accidents are still happening every day. Trauma is still happening every day. So we need the community to come in and help donate and fill our shelves so we can help supply the hospitals and support our community.
Well said. And yet, no matter how many times you say it, sometimes it's still not happening. When you say you see a shortage, what does that mean? Just not as much reserve, not as much there for a crisis? Or
Yes. So when we say the word shortage, sometimes our shelves are empty with the blood types that we need. The rare O negative, O positives.
Even harder to have.
Yes. So we need all of our donors to come out, donate, show support, and help us help our hospitals. We are the local blood supplier for this area. So community helps community.
So when I was recently have been at UF Health emergency room with my brother 3 different times, he has had blood transfusions. So that is coming from you, LifeSouth.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
We're the
first,
sole
you are the
supplier
sole
of blood
supplier.
products on the
So to
hospitals.
really put it home, when you were in that, whether it's critical or just needing blood is critical enough, and you don't have those resources, then that patient, that brother, that person, that loved one is not getting it.
Correct.
And we don't even know how we could think that out, because we always just think it's there.
I think that people believe that. They just assume that the blood is going to be on the shelf when they
needed.
or their loved one or a coworker or a neighbor
Right.
needs it. It's just going to be there. It doesn't magically appear. It takes people coming out and donating.
And it's a process.
And it is a process. So you asked about the process.
Right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to discuss that.
Sounds great.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back talking about LifeSouth Community Blood Centers with Kevin and Laura. And as we said, everyone depends on the fact that the shells will have the blood they need. But Kevin, that's not, we've already said, not always the case.
Yes.
And help us understand, how does the whole process start to get the blood to the person?
We use an online ordering system.
Okay.
Hospitals input their orders, come across our screen.
24/7.
24/7.
This is going on.
We're manned 24/7. Holidays,
Right.
we're there. Hospital puts in their orders, comes across our screen. We go through our shelves, fill their orders, put them into our database, ships them out to that hospital. We have our online ordering system, kind of like a Domino's pizza truck.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Okay, and when
yes.
you say ships it out, is somebody driving it
Someone
to
is driving.
that
We-
emergency room where I'm sitting? Okay.
Yes, we can even narrow it down to say this certain person is driving it to the hospital, so they can track it all the way to their front door, our hospital. So
Wow.
we pack it up, get it to them.
How do you pack it up? Is it
It's in
a cold pack or a?
Well, we use insulated boxes,
Okay.
liners. Then we put the units in the boxes, put absorbent material on top, put bags of ice on top. That's for red cells.
Okay.
Put our packing slip in, take the box closed, shipping label on top, and take it
I
to
see
that
it. I see
hospital.
it. So
Yes.
for every single person, you have 2 centers in Gainesville and all in our surrounding area. So for every single person that is needing blood, this is going on over and over again,
Over
because
and
it's only you, LifeSouth. You are one blood center. Okay. That's a heavy duty responsibility. You have to get it right, and you have to have it. And that's where you say sometimes you have the shortfall, especially for rare blood types.
Yes, ma'am.
And-
We work closely with our hospitals. The blood bank managers, directors, they have my personal cell phone number.
Oh, I
So
bet,
we can
yes.
get calls in the middle of the night. We get things in motion. They trust us, we trust them. They tell us they need something, we know they need it.
Right.
And we get the ball in motion to get it done.
So that kind of that's once that's happening, and then that takes it back to the community, the donator, the people who donate blood. Do you see things changing? Things since COVID, age groups. Are there differences in people who give blood or who have this responsibility in their mindset?
We have seen a decline in the 18 to 35 age group, and I do think that COVID had something to do with that. Our high school blood drives represent about 15% of the blood that we collect in the community every year. So
Wow.
when the high schools closed down,
Oh, that's
and even when
then you
they
don't have
opened
that.
back up after the height of COVID, they still weren't allowing anyone to come onto their campus just for
Whoa.
safety concerns. So we missed, a couple years maybe.
Yes, you're still
of,
building up reserve.
building those relationships with students, because donating in high school blood drives is where many of them learn to become blood donors
And then carry that forward.
and then carry
Yeah.
that forward. So
Oh,
I
so
think that is part of the reason we're seeing
Definitely, I
that
see
drop
that.
in blood donors in that age group. And it's concerning because the age group that is donating the most is going to soon start aging out of being
Exactly.
able to donate. So we don't have that backup.
Oh, wow. I haven't even asked, is there an age, what are some of the qualifications, for being able to donate blood? Is there an age to that?
Sure. So
Okay.
you need to be 16. You can donate
Okay,
with a
that's the
parental
high school.
form. 17, you can do it on your own.
All right.
You need to have a photo ID, and you need to weigh at least 110 pounds.
We discussed that
We
one.
discussed
Okay,
that one,
okay.
right. So those are the basic requirements to donate blood.
And the willingness, okay. And is there an outer age? Can you be
No
too
upper
old?
age limit.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. So there's our call to action for the community. All right, we're going to take another quick break, but much more to discuss. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back discussing LifeSouth Community Blood Centers. And Laura, tell us more about the eligibility of being able to donate. Continue that conversation.
Absolutely. Many people think that they can't actually donate blood when they can. So things change all the time. We're guided by the FDA, and the
Okay.
guidelines change. So, for example, if I'm out asking people to donate blood in front of a bloodmobile, people are still telling me that they think they can't donate blood because they just received a tattoo. Those guidelines
Yes.
changed in 2013. So
Okay.
people
That's
who've
out.
received tattoos, you can donate blood, and I know you're not afraid of needles.
Good point.
Some of the big change that happened late last year was people who lived in Europe during a certain time period were permanently deferred because of mad cow disease. So we're talking about millions of people who were not able to donate blood, who now they're able to donate blood.
Okay.
So that
Another hurdle crossed.
that is another hurdle crossed, and I think most people don't realize. So what I encourage people to do is, if you've been told that you can't donate blood in the past, ask us. Come up
You
to
have
a
the answers.
bloodmobile, that's right, call
And
our
you're out in
donor
the
center
community
and ask
many,
us,
many
because
places.
guaranteed something may have changed, and
then
then
you
they are able to donate blood.
What do you think, Kevin, do you think there's fear of donating blood?
I think there's a fear of donating blood.
I see, this is a yes.
Yes.
Oh, this
a
is
yes.
the biggest
Yeah.
reason.
Yes. I'm afraid of needles.
Okay.
I donate all the time.
So they go through the process, needle in the arm, like you're drawing blood.
Yes.
Same
So
idea.
needle in the arm. Myself, I usually turn away and take a deep breath and exhale. And for me, my blood draw is 7 minutes. So
Wow.
it doesn't
How
take
much
me
blood is taken from an individual?
long.
Or does it
we do
differ?
one pint
One
if you're
pint,
doing just
okay.
the regular whole blood donation.
Okay. Now, can a person be okay minus a pint of blood? Do you think people are fearful? They'll be dizzy, they'll suffer, some ill?
That may be, I think, like Kevin said,
Right.
most people are afraid of needles. So again, if you're out there asking people to donate blood, that is what we hear the most.
I
is
see,
that,
it's
is
not
that
a
they're-
jolly thing.
No, they're,
you
they're
give the
afraid of
t-shirts, you give
needles.
the-
And, that's right. And just
The
like
balloon.
Kevin said, it feels like a little pinch.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you turn around, you're not looking, you won't even know that anything has happened, and it's over quickly, like in 4 to 7 minutes.
And so if someone would say, will my body replace that blood pretty quickly, or do I need to do anything later, or will I feel dizzy, or you're not going to really
We ask
feel
that
it?
they don't do anything strenuous for the next 24 hours.
Okay.
And eat and keep eating and drinking. They've just burned 650 calories
Oh,
when
okay.
they donate blood.
Oh, maybe we should spread that word.
We try and spread that word, yes. But really, most people are fine. And I think that for a person who donates the first time, they realize, it wasn't as bad as they think that it's going to be. And then they face their fear, and they've saved up to 3 lives donating blood.
Okay, that's something to know. So from that pint of blood from an individual, it could go to 3 different
that is what people in Kevin's department actually do. When the whole blood comes to their department, they make different blood products out of it. He can explain.
Yes, we take the whole blood units. We have our red cells, plasma, and we can get whole blood derived platelets from that. Yes, ma'am.
I even remember back to the emergency room or conversations about how they have to separate that, and so you've got to get the right thing that's necessary for that individual. And then there's the problem with the blood types. That's very rare. You're saying we're in a crisis right now because since we don't have enough donations, then that brings down the playing field for a rare blood type.
Yes, it does.
So here's a question. What would a person do if you did not have the blood for them? Or do we ever face that?
Luckily, we have not, that I know of, faced that challenge yet. But we do get critically low.
And that's the scary part, because you don't want to use that word critically low.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, call to action to this community. We're going to take another break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us. We're back talking about LifeSouth Community Blood Centers, and July is Cord Blood Month. What does that mean?
I'm so glad you brought that up. So July is National Cord Blood Month, and cord blood means the umbilical cord. So LifeSouth is partnered with UF Health and HCA North Florida Hospital, where mothers can donate their cord blood. And cord blood is really important because it's used in treatments for leukemia, lymphoma, and a host of other diseases. And the cord blood is really rich in stem cells, so it helps people who have those illnesses.
And it otherwise would be discarded?
Otherwise it would be discarded, and this is a way that a mother can help save lives.
All right. Another good call to action.
Yes.
And as part of this community call to action, how can we host a blood drive? How do you go about that?
So that is also another way that people who can really help LifeSouth and making sure that there is sufficient blood for the hospitals is businesses, organizations, festival organizers. They can all host blood drives. They can just give us a call and we will set it up. The Bloodmobile is all inclusive, so it doesn't need anything to run, and it is a way to give back to your community.
And you just step right in?
And donate blood.
How many people can be in a Bloodmobile and donate at a time? Several.
Well, there are several, 5 or 6. We can work out the schedule with the business. So
it's a great opportunity, and I do see the Bloodmobile out quite a bit, and so it gives it visibility for us to step in and do our part. And speaking of doing your part, okay, Kevin, among the many hats you wear at LifeSouth, tell us about the tours and reaching out to the community.
At LifeSouth, we give groups behind-the-scene tours. We've done wholesale groups. We've done, just last week, we had a community group of young men come back and do a tour for them and show them that, hey, this could be a career for you and working in blood banking. So if anyone would like a tour, just reach out with their group name and date and time, and we'll set it up, give them a behind-the-scene tour.
Outstanding.
Of what it's like.
That's great opportunities.
Yes.
And I know there's, now we're all noticing the medal around Laura's neck. What's that signify?
So LifeSouth Community foundation. We work in the schools,
Right.
and we help educate students on the different parts of blood and what it's like to donate blood and why it's important to donate blood. And education is the key, because we know
Right.
someday they're going to be 16 or 17 years old
they'll
and
be
are
ready.
able to donate blood. And we find that if we start with the education early enough, then by the time they're able to donate, then that fear that we talked about
Right.
earlier, that has
Yes.
dissipated.
Yes.
So it really helps.
And
and
you
that-
have opportunities for fun events and
So this-
awards and competitions. I mean, a way
Yeah,
to
so
really
this
build it.
medal is from our 5K that we have put on every February. It's our party in the plaza. It takes place at the Bo Diddley
Diddley.
Plaza. And it's a community event. You don't have to run. You can walk it. Or you can just show up and listen
Be a
to
part.
live music, be a part of it, donate blood. We'll have a blood mobile there. And it's just a way of giving back to the community.
A wonderful annual event. And I want to thank you. Any last quick words? We're almost out of time. Kevin?
Please donate. We need you to donate. Come in, stop by one of our many centers in Gainesville, and come and give us a little bit of your blood. Please donate.
Thank you. Well said. And Laura?
Just remember, every 2 to 3 seconds, someone in the United States needs blood. One in out of every 7 people entering the hospital needs blood. And one of every 3 people are going to need a blood transfusion someday. So the need is great, and we need you.
Thank you very much. That both of you have shared so much important information. I really thank you and all that LifeSouth does for this community. And I'm so glad that you tuned in, and I hope you will consider donating to LifeSouth Community Blood Centers. And I hope you will join us next week. Take care.